Good morning. It is early. It is 7:40 on Saturday, July 25th. I am up and I was thinking, I was like, I'm going to try to do these little updates. I am using my little tripod stand because I realized looking at some of these videos, two things. One, I've been talking too fast and I need to slow down. And I've been talking too fast because I've been trying to just get it over with and not wanting to talk too long and not wanting the videos to be too long and saying, oh, I'll just go fast and kind of talk and get all my thoughts out and then I'll be done and keep it under 3 minutes, keep it under 5 minutes, whatever. But there's a lot going on in the garden, so we'll talk about it. We'll do it, see how it goes. That being said, I'm out here this morning checking on my plants and realizing that it's not as bad. Now, I'll tell you, I came out here yesterday after doing the video, looking back at everything, and I told myself, I'm not going to let these mealybugs get the best of my garden. So let me turn this around. So I came out here with the diatomaceous earth and I dusted the heck out of everything. I also came back out with my Bayer systemic treatment. I don't know the official name of it or the particular one because they have a couple of different systemic treatments, but it's basically something where you take your water or you apply it to the soil. The benefit or the downside of it is that after you use it, so disclaimer, let me put this out there. When I'm gardening for my home and for myself, I'm one of those folks that wants to be as efficient as possible. I'm not one who says, oh, I have to only use organic things. Now, if I'm growing things for the garden like I am over here, these are things that I would only use, like, let's show this, my organic products, my copper fungicide, my Captain Jack dead bug, organic certified products, because the garden we go by certified organic things only, and we don't want to use chemicals. Well, everything's a chemical, but we won't get into that. One of the gardeners that I like watching on YouTube is the Rusted Gardener, because like we all are made of chemicals. I remember that from high school chemistry class, and when he said that, I was like, yes, somebody gets it. Because a lot of times you'll hear folks say, oh, I only want to use things that are organic, I don't want to use things that are this, that, and the third. And you got to realize everything is a chemical compound. Your body is a chemical compound. But I'll leave that for another video when I really sit down to explain that in a way that would make like my former teachers who are my Facebook friends, like Miss Tipton and some others, proud. But say that to say, there's things that I would grow for my home. So these plants here, I mentioned before that I might transfer them to the garden. Since I've had to treat them for bugs, these will not be going anywhere. These will be staying here. Now, I was also watching The Rusted Gardener last night and realized that what I had been doing, and you can see here along the base, is trimming off these leaves. But what's happened, especially with this powdery mildew, your plants become susceptible to that when you don't trim, because it reduces the airflow and the air circulation, and that makes your plants vulnerable to diseases. Same with tomatoes. And when your plants get vulnerable to diseases, then it makes them also vulnerable and susceptible to pests. So I was thinking about that last night, and again, being busy with a little one, I haven't been out here as much as I had been in the beginning, really tending to this, cutting away the dead leaves, because when you look at your squash plant, your new growth in this area is going to be where your flowers are coming in at. This part down here, this older growth on this stump, you're not going to get new blooms down here. Point blank, period. This area may tap out roots for you. It may help keep your plant alive, but it is not going to put out new blooms. So whenever you have blooms that are spent down here, you're safe to trim them off and increase that air circulation. So I'm going to do that later this afternoon when I come back, or later today at some point. And when you do that, it increases the health of your plant. And I thought about something else too. The pollinators that I've been talking about not coming here, sometimes your leaves can be so thick that your pollinators don't necessarily see the flowers to get to them to pollinate them. So when I come back in here, and I do have some different fungicidal sprays that I can come in and spray this and kind of help the leaves, I'm going to do that, and hopefully that helps make a difference. So same thing for my squash plant that's over here. Just got a lot of congestion going on with all this being in the corner, the way that it's tilted over outside of my raised bed. It may have even started to tap roots because it's touching the soil there. But because these leaves are here, and yeah, they were doing good, looking really healthy, but all of this is blocking airflow in an area that's already tight because it's kind of in this channel between the fence and my garage. So I need to come back in here, prune this out, and increase air circulation. So if you notice that your squash plants aren't doing as well, if you notice that your things aren't getting pollinated, that you see flowers opening, but you don't notice that they're getting pollinated and squash developing, it could be that your leaves, one, are too congested. If you start seeing powdery mildew developing like this, and there is a difference between the natural pattern of the leaves that you notice on the squash plant versus this, which is actual powdery mildew. So, look up videos on YouTube so you can really understand the difference in that. It is okay to cut back these leaves because if you look, I haven't pruned these, but again, plants take care of themselves, so they will naturally begin to prune themselves and die. These leaves will die back on their own. But you can always help your plant stay healthy, perform better by doing that regular tending and pruning as you maintain your garden. So I'm happy to see here that my sun-go tomato, since I put it in ground or in this raised bed, is looking a little bit better, a little less stressed, and starting to get some more healthy growth going. So I need to prune that as well. And then this squash plant here, same thing. I'm gonna have to prune this back, take away some of these old leaves in the area that's no longer needed, and really open this up and help that air circulation. And then there's two pepper plants here. There's a Cajun bell pepper plant, and then I think this is a green bell pepper plant that are both doing well. And I actually have a little lizard friend there, if you can see him. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm about to get in the car and head out to try to get some what is it called? There's a person on Facebook that shared that they had a century plant that exploded and put out tons of little offsets. So I'm going to try to grab some. So I'm going to get in the car, drive there, and I'll give you an update when I get there.